So if you just finished season 5 of Only Murders in the Building, you know things got wild. Charles, Mabel, and Oliver finally cracked the case, solving the murders of Lester, the Arconia's beloved doorman, and Nicky Catzamelio. The culprits got locked up, the Arconia was saved from being turned into a casino, and for a couple of months, our trio actually got to enjoy some peace and quiet. But this is Only Murders we're talking about, so of course that didn't last long. Another shocking murder just dropped, and honestly, this one's about to change everything. Season 6 renewal and release date. Now, Season 6 hasn't officially been announced yet, but let's be real. Given how popular this show is, a renewal seems pretty much guaranteed. The show's been following a one-season-per-year pattern, so if that continues, we're looking at a late 2026 release for Season 6. Mark your calendars. Season 6 is taking us to London. Here's where things get really interesting. 3 months after solving Lester and Nicky's cases, Charles, Mabel, and Oliver are hanging out, just vibing and catching up. They decide to tune into a new podcast by none other than Cinda Canning. The podcast takes place in the UK, where Cinda went on vacation and, because of course she did, stumbled onto a brand new murder mystery. The case centers around a girl with curls with bright red hair who's been accused of murdering a royal descendant. The whole world thinks she's guilty, but Cinda, she's convinced this girl is innocent and starts investigating. The shocking murder that sets up Season 6. While the trio's listening to the first episode of this podcast, a woman with red curly hair shows up outside the Arconia and just falls flat on her face right outside the gate. It's immediately clear she's dead. Now, Howard and the trio start arguing about whether this technically counts as a death inside the building. Classic Only Murders debate, right? But then, in her final moments, the woman reaches out and places her hand on the gate. Technically, she's in the building. When they turn her over, boom, it's Cinda Canning herself. Since Cinda's podcast was what brought Charles, Mabel, and Oliver together in the first place, it makes total sense that they'd want to find out what happened to her and who killed her. Her death is clearly connected to the UK case she was investigating, which means one thing: our trio is taking a field trip to London. We don't know yet how much of Season 6 will actually take place across the pond, but this is definitely going to be uncharted territory for these three. Season 6 cast, the main trio returns. Following the pattern from previous seasons, Season 6 will bring back the main cast along with a whole new set of characters. Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez are all returning as Charles, Oliver, and Mabel. No surprises there. Supporting cast members coming back. We're also expecting to see familiar faces like Michael Cyril Creighton as Howard, Jackie Hoffman as Uma, Divine Joy Randolph as Detective Donna Williams, and Meryl Streep as Loretta. Richard Kine's Vince Fish might make an appearance too. Nathan Lane's Teddy Demas, who got released from prison and showed up in the penultimate episode of Season 5 along with James Caverly's Theo, could also return. And Jermaine Fowler's Randall is expected to stick around as he settles into his new role as the building's doorman. Tina Fey returns as the victim. Since Cinda Canning is the victim, or at least one of the victims in Season 6, Tina Fey will be back as a familiar face on the show. New British cast members expected. Beyond the returning cast, we're going to see a whole new lineup of suspects and red herrings. Since this case is tied to the death of a royal descendant in the UK, it's pretty likely that most of the new cast will be British actors. The show's pulled in some massive names every season, so we could be looking at British acting royalty, maybe even actual royalty, joining the cast next time around. How exciting is that? Charles's character development arc. Here's something interesting. As the trio sits down to listen to Cinda's new podcast, they reflect on how one of her podcasts brought them together 5 years ago. In that time, Oliver's life has changed dramatically, especially since falling in love with Loretta. Mabel's also gone through some major changes, particularly in Season 5 with her friendship with Althea. But Charles, he hasn't really experienced any significant growth. Oliver actually points this out right before they start the podcast. This could be a major hint that Season 6 is going to give Charles the chance to go through a life-changing experience that transforms him for the better. What's next for Oliver and Mabel? That said, Oliver and Mabel also have plenty to look forward to, especially Mabel. Season 5 had her confronting some really difficult aspects of her life, and Season 6 is expected to continue that growth trajectory. Supporting characters' storylines expanding. The season will also keep building out the storylines of supporting characters, especially Howard. He seems like he's being set up as the next potential victim and could even be the focus of a potential Season 7. New characters and future changes. With all these new characters coming in, there's going to be tons of room for the story and our main trio to evolve and change. Whether that change is for better or worse, we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.